Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sandra and I am the designer behind Sandra Stitches, and you are here for some crochet goodness. Alright, today I have a special episode for you, a special video, because I am starting a new series called 5 Things I Wish I Knew Before I Started Crocheting. And I will go in each episode, about different aspects of the crochet journey. So I hope you enjoy it and I hope you learn something from it. And if you do, please tell me in the comments. I would love to chat with you in the comments. And also, of course, if you have some new or different suggestions, please tell me in the comments. So let's get started. But before we do, subscribe. So, the first thing I wish I knew before I started crocheting is that you do not have to start with a scarf. I know it sounds strange. Some of us start with scarves because we think. Some of us start with granny squares, which is a much more complicated crochet pattern. But some of us that want to start very, very simple, so people tell us, okay, make a scarf. It's just a rectangle. You go up and down the rows, and everything is fine. No, you don't have to start with a scarf. First of all, it's kind of boring at the beginning because a scarf, if you want to have a real scarf at the end, has to be long. And if you're going up and down the rows and you don't really see progress because you're just beginning and each row takes a long time, so it gets boring. And we don't want to feel bored when we are crocheting. The second reason that you don't have to start with a scarf is that because it's long, you might lose your stitches on the way, and then you realize that your scarf is kind of wavy. Yeah, I know, lots of us have experienced that. Maybe you added a stitch, maybe you decreased the stitches. No, make something smaller. Start with a washcloth. Start with a rectangle scrubby. Start with a rectangle coaster. Something small that you can control, and you see the end product, the end project, and you feel so satisfied. All right? So this is the first thing I wish I knew before I started crocheting. The second thing I wish I knew before I started crocheting is that not all yarns are good for beginners. And what I mean for that, there are so many yarns out there. Beautiful, thin, thick, colorful, shiny, different blends, wool, alpaca, camel. I had once a banana yarn and I bought it just at the beginning because I thought it was so special and so beautiful. Yarn with all kind of different combination of materials, shiny, variegated, you name it, lots and lots of yarns. When we are just starting, all we need is a plain weight 4 or maybe weight 5, 100% acrylic, solid color yarn to begin, because then we are not distracted with all the different yarn combinations, the yarn colors, the yarn fabrics that, or how do you say, the threads inside the yarn. We need to concentrate in getting to be a good crocheter, getting to know the stitches, getting to practice everything. so we don't need the distractions of all these yarns. So for beginners, so plain 100% acrylic, wait for solid color, preferably a light color so you can see your stitches and your chains. It's best for beginners. All right, let's move to the next thing I wish I knew before I started crocheting, and that is tension matters, but please do not obsess about it, okay? Now, tension is very important to any crochet project, but tension is something that develops with time and practice. When we just start, usually most of the times I see in my students when I teach crochet, the tension is very tight, and it will not be like that all the time. We are at the beginning and we are afraid, scared that we will miss a stitch, that we will increase or whatever. We don't know where to insert the hook, all the things. So we hold everything, the yarn and the hook and everything very tight. Now, as you progress as a crocheter, you will notice that your tension becomes something that you don't think about it, and that you can control. What I mean by control, at the beginning, we often feel that the tension controls us because we try to make it lighter, but it doesn't really work. As we practice, we will control the tension and everything will be okay. We will control the tension because we are going to feel much better using the tools that we are using. We will find the perfect hook for us. We will get to be to know very well how to work each and every stitch. We will not be afraid that we don't know where to insert our hook. We will be more practiced, right? So tension will be lighter, usually lighter. And if we will want to make tension a little bit tighter, we will size down. Or maybe if we want the tension to be lighter, we will size up on our hook. We will control it. So please, tension is important to any project. We don't want our washcloth to be start in a size and then become something else. We don't want our blankets to be very wavy. It's important, but please do not obsess over it. All right? Let's move to the next thing I wish I knew before I started crocheting. The next thing, and I think it's going to be number 4, is a very important lesson to life that we need to know before we start crocheting, because if we don't kind of absorb it into our mind, so we will get very frustrated. And that is that frogging, unraveling, restarting, redoing, making mistakes, having to undo everything is fine. It does not mean that you are not a good crocheter. It does not mean that you can never improve. It just means that you're normal and that you're human, and humans make mistakes. And if you are a person that is a creative person and you want to create some handmade pieces and things, sometimes you make mistakes and you have to do it again. I don't think I know any of my colleagues, crochet designers, that don't work the same projects a few times around. And I can tell you from myself, my experience, usually I make mistakes when I'm crocheting something, and I had to work on my mindset and say to myself, no, you are not going to walk around the mistake. You are going to frog it, undo it, unravel it, and restart it because you want your piece to be okay. You don't have to be perfect, but you want it to be okay, the way you imagined it, the way it's supposed to be. Maybe if you're working with a pattern, you're following a pattern, and then you realize that you missed a whole row or something like that, so, or that you added stitches in the wrong places, it won't look well. And maybe other people will not notice it, but you will always notice it. So, frogging, unraveling, undoing it, restarting your project is totally fine. Just absorb it to your mind and you will be fine. Let's move to the next one. Fifth thing I wish I knew before I started crocheting is something that I think it's very important in any stage of our crochet life, and that is lighting. Lighting and tools. Lighting is super, super, super important, especially when you start, but all the way along. And why is that? Because lighting, when you have good lighting, you can see exactly where your stitch is, where your chain is, where you need to insert your hook, how you need to proceed. If you made a mistake, anything, you can see it. If you don't have good lighting, you can miss all that. And then what happens that you keep on working, and then you realize you have to frog everything, or something is wrong, or whatever, okay? And also for your eyes, of course. Your eyes get tired if you don't have good lighting. And if we have like an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours crochet session, sometimes we forget ourselves and we go on and on and on and on, and we feel it in our eyes. So good lighting is crucial. Good tools, I want to say something about the word good tools, because I think that many of you might think that when I say good tools, I mean like, you know, expensive hooks or expensive stitch markers or scissors. No, this is not what I mean. When I say good tools, I mean good tools for you. And I will give you the example of myself, all right? I have several sets of hooks and several sets of stitch markers. I have one scissor, but about the hooks, because it's the most important tool that we use when we are crocheting. There are lots of different hooks out in the market. There are ergonomic hooks, there are metal hooks, plastic hooks, there are bamboo hooks, all kind of branded, very branded hooks. You have to find the hooks that work the best for you, with your hand, with your grip, with your tension, with your movement. And I can tell you that for me, I tried many of them. Also, I invested in very branded hooks that I cannot use at all, but are beautiful, and I know many crocheters use them and are great for them. But for me, I found that the best hooks for me are the plain metal hooks. You know, the sets that you can find anywhere, colored metal hooks. I found that these are the best. I feel more comfortable with them. My hands do not get very tired when I use them. I don't have to hold them very tight. Since I started working with them, I feel these are the best tools for me. So just try, maybe buy one of each and try for a while and see how your hand feels, how you feel, you know, if you feel that you're putting too much effort, so maybe it's not the best tool for you. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. These were my 5 things I wish I knew before I started crocheting. I hope you learned something from it, and I am sure that you will tell me in the comments if you did so. And also, I would love to chat with you. So if you have any suggestions, but other things that I did not talk about, please leave them in the comments and we will chat and we will all learn from you. All right, so I will see you in our next video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Bye.